Phenomena. I'm your host, Mimi Dibs. This is episode 3 of season 3. In the new studio, clearly, we moved, which was very exciting and very stressful. I forgot how much moving sucks a lot. This is we just kind of, keep it going. Keep moving. Don't stop moving. What you're doing, keep doing it. Anyway, this week's episode is about none other than the Yeti. Ooh, we're back to cryptids. I'm so pumped. Obviously the first 2 episodes of season 3 were more natural phenomena focused. The first episode being about the aurora borealis and the second one being about lightning sprites, which actually Griffin, who wrote this week's script on the Yeti, he also sent me this article, or I think it was just a photo thing that he saw about some astronauts or something seeing the a massive lightning sprite. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen, but it's cool because he was like, I don't think I would have known about lightning sprites or what they were if it were not for Phenomena covering it. And I was like, oh my God, are we an educational show? Wait a minute, they're gonna show us in science classes. Now we're back to cryptids. So I'm super pumped because obviously cryptids have more of a whimsical element to them. So we were very woman in STEM and now we're back to kind of lore and cryptids. But before we get started, I want to shout out this week's Phenomannouncement, which is Forgotten Rarities. I found this Instagram profile and they are based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and they're a crystal and candle store. And I saw they had really cool geodes. They do a lot of videos where they're opening up the geode and it's all sick and cool and awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. I love geodes. I don't have many geodes. They're expensive. Also on there, it says that they're well priced and reasonably priced. So I love that. Also, their little tagline or whatever on there is the Crystal Coven, which I was immediate follow. So if nothing else, at least follow them. Just check out their super awesome crystals and candles. And if you feel so inclined as to want to purchase some crystals or candles from them, then please feel free because they're our Phenomannouncement for this episode. Also, I just realized episode 3 of season 3 is kind of 11:11. So, or you know what I mean? It's giving the same vibe. So make a wish. 3-3. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode titled The Yeti, Bigfoot's Icy Cousin. We love it by Griffin. Thank you so much, Griffin. I appreciate it. Griffin, actually, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but joined the Phenomena writers crew full time. They are in it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be recurring. It's not just guest writing. It's Griffin's in it. And I'm so happy that he is because he's a great writer. All right, let's get into it. Meet the Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman, the Himalayan hype beast. Not the Himalayan hype beast, the snow-capped shadow, the creature who's been ghosting mountaineers for generations. I love this already. Towering, frostbitten, and seemingly allergic to cameras, the Yeti has lumbered through folklore like Bigfoot's colder, quieter cousin. Ooh, is he quieter? That's interesting. I wonder if that's going to be a part of his lore. I don't know very much about the Yeti, but I need to learn more. What exactly is this so-called abominable snowman? A rare mountain ape? A shaggy PR stunt? Or just a pile of misunderstood fingerprints? Oh, not fingerprints, footprints in the snow. See, that's what I was wondering is kind of big. It's giving Bigfoot vibes. So it's Bigfoot's icy cousin because of the whole people swear they've seen crazy footprints in snow. So I don't know. Does he have big feet too? Probably. Bundle up, grab your crampons. What's a crampon? And let's try. Oh, is that for mountaineering or to go in icy places? I don't know. Anyway, I think it maybe. Anyway, grab them if you have them. And let's trek into the frosty mystery of the Yeti. No Sherpa required. Ooh, okay. Why? Isn't he kind of made of Sherpa? Or he's white, right? But I wonder, is it fur? Is it Sherpa? I feel like it's Sherpa. At least that's how they depict him in Monsters, Inc., which is obviously scientifically a correct way of depicting the Yeti. So that's the only kind of Yeti. I'm sure that's what the Yeti looks like. IMO, as the kids say. Without further ado, let's get into the lore. So the legend of the Yeti lives high in the Himalayas. Basically nature's do not disturb sign. Ooh, yeah. I wonder what other mythical and mystical beings live in the Himalayas. In the snowy shadows of Everest, locals have passed down stories of a hulking, fur-covered beast. Oh, see, that answers the question. It's fur-covered beast roaming the slopes. Known in Tibetan culture as Mete, the Yeti isn't a monster. It's a guardian of nature and remote places. I love that because it's kind of like how we said that Mothman is really an angel, that or like like an angel sent down to warn people when bad things happen. So I love that he's the guardian of nature. See the Lorax? He's the snowy No, wait, hold on. Snowy Lorax. Oh my God, why is that so hard to say? Sheesh. Anyway, the snowy Lorax. I keep wanting to say Lorax. Kind of like a divine bouncer who really doesn't want you hiking alone. That's cute. In this culture, the Yeti isn't meant to be caught or studied. It's a sacred reminder that some places and creatures are best left mysterious. I love that. Yeah, it's kind of like phenomena. Like we talk about, what the different theories could be, but we're not trying to like pin down or solve phenomena. It's like, maybe it's not meant to be known. It's just meant to be discussed. Clearly. And like the Yeti's a celebrity in terms of discussions. He's all over the tabloids of, Reddit posts. Westerners caught wind of the legend in the 19th century, but the real media frenzy didn't hit until the 1920s. Oh, the 1920s, you're sorry. When a British explorer claimed to have found giant footprints in the snow. Naturally, instead of assuming big boots, everyone screamed, Yeti! And thus began the modern obsession. Yeah, I wonder if this was before or after Bigfoot. Because if we had already discovered Bigfoot's tracks, then I wonder, just discovering the Yeti's tracks would be, even more, they would just be like, oh, it's Bigfoot, but for ice, right? I didn't know it was the footprints in the snow that really, grabbed the media's attention, but interesting. Thus began the modern obsession. In the 1950s, Sir Edmund Hillary, the first guy to summit Everest. Oh, wild, dude. People are crazy. People be wildin'. First guy to summit Everest joined the hunt. He even organized a whole expedition to find the beast. Wow. Oh, okay. He went 10 toes down. He went, we're finding him. But I'm glad that they didn't find him because what would they have done if they did find him? You know what I mean? Would they have captured him and done tests on him because humans are awful? I want the Yeti to be free. I love it. Okay. What did they come back with? Hair samples, scalp relics. Ew. Oh, I really don't like scalp relics. What does that even mean? And enough confusion to fuel decades of Travel Channel programming. Nice. I love it. Okay, again, just like the Loch Ness Monster episode, we might owe the Yeti some royalties because they're single-handedly keeping the lore alive and providing programming to programs. Providing free content to programs. From then on, the Yeti was a global icon. You can find him in books, documentaries, and even that one episode of Scooby-Doo. I love that. I was like, if Scooby-Doo didn't have an episode with the Yeti, I would be pissed. I'd be upset. So I'm glad that they at least, but just one episode of Scooby-Doo, have him on as a recurring character. Have him join the squad, Hell, even Disney gave him a roller coaster. Really? I didn't know that. Is it Disneyland or Disney World? I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. The accounts of what he looks like varies, but in general, the Yeti is described as a massive bipedal creature covered in a thick, shaggy hair, sometimes white, but also brown or gray depending on the sighting. I feel like brown is more Bigfoot, right? But I could see gray. Thick, shaggy hair. See, I'm wondering, is it Sherpa? Is it the consistency of Sherpa? I don't know. I guess it's fur or hair, but maybe it's matted, like dreads, and then it looks like Sherpa. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Most accounts say it's around 6 to 9 feet tall. What? With a muscular build that can weigh anywhere between 200 to 400 pounds. Oh, sick. Okay, so even if they did try to capture him, you'd need a whole ass tank to take him down, because this strong. He is a strong motherfucker. But I kind of love it. He's huge. 9 feet. Are you kidding? That's massive. I love it. Good for him. Some versions, I love that he's muscular too. Is he out there lifting ice boulders? I don't know. Do you even lift? Some versions make it sound more like half human, half ape creature, while others describe it as a walking snow bear. Oh wow. How did it just occur to me that it could have been a polar bear, but maybe people thought it was humanoid? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it definitely has the same, it has very similar, but a polar bear paw or footprint would be more like a paw, right? rather than a foot. A few even say it has long arms that hang all the way down to its knees. Okay, I see how it can have like that ape-like appearance then. But legends don't survive this long without a few skeptics poking around. Okay, yes, love it. And while the Yeti's got serious street cred in the folklore department, science and speculation have entered the chat. So what is the Yeti, really? This leads us to the theories. Wow, what a great segue. Wow, amazing. All right, theory number 1. Undiscovered ape species. Yeah. I like this. This is good. This is like Ice Age apes, right? Oh, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. One of the more grounded theories is that the Yeti is a relic population of Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus. Words, they're hard, but I conquered it. An extinct giant ape that once roamed Asia. I like this theory. This is good. The idea is that a few may have gone full introvert and set up shop in the Himalayas. Cool theory, except there's zero fossil evidence of any such creature north of Vietnam. Oh, okay. But there is fossil evidence of that creature south of Vietnam, just not north. I don't know. I mean, yeah, if some of them went full introvert and wanted to like get away from it all, that might make sense. But hey, who says a giant snow gorilla can't take a sabbatical? True, exactly. See, that part. Maybe they were just like, oh God, I just don't want to hang out with anyone. They went off the grid. The Yeti can go off the grid. The Yeti is also done with everyone's bullshit. So I feel you, Yeti. Theory number 2, misidentified wildlife. Sometimes a bear is just a bear. Yeah, that's literally like the whole realization I had. I was like, wait, it looks a lot like a polar bear, I guess. And polar bears can be huge. Many Yeti sightings may actually be Himalayan brown bears walking upright or just doing bear things. And in snowy conditions, size, shape, and rational thought tend to blur. True. Yeah, wait, that's a good point. Yeah. Because like these photographers and people that like go after them and stuff, like they're in like the tundra for like extended periods of time. So it's like, girl, when's the last time you've eaten? When's the last time you had a drink? Are you operating at full capacity right now? Because humans are not meant to thrive, I don't think, in like below 0 degree weather. There's even been DNA tests on Yeti remains that came back as, wait for it, a bear. Okay. So yeah, Team Bear is feeling pretty smug. That's true. That's a good point. I do think some of the sightings could have been a bear. I don't know if it's just a brown bear like covered in snow, maybe? Because polar bear makes more sense to me in terms of like it being like white or cream or gray color. But I don't know. That's really interesting. Theory number 3, snow tracks plus melting equals optical illusions. Ever seen a snow print melt into something way larger and spookier than it should be? That's your Yeti. The rare combo of freezing temps, sun, and human imagination can turn a bunny hop into Bigfoot's runway walk. Ooh, I love that. Strut. Work it, diva. I love it. But no, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Like if the like outside of it melted and maybe it looks more ominous or way bigger than it really is. That's a good point. I do like this theory because it's like, okay, let's check ourselves, you know? Maybe it was a bit of the melting that had to do with played a role in the optical illusion. Theory number 4, hoaxes and hype. Let's face it, sometimes humans just want a monster. Yeah, see also Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, I was gonna say Loch Ness Monster again, Bigfoot, Yeti, hello. Like we do not have a shortage of cryptids, so this makes sense. We love a good monster. Whether it's for fame, tourism, or to make your boring expedition seem less, I almost froze to death, and more, I discovered a beast. Yeah. That's a good point, Griffin, because it's like people that go and, you know, maybe they're like, oh, we were right on his tail and then he ended up, you know, disappearing into the mountains and we couldn't catch up or whatever, but we swear we saw him. Like that makes it feel like the expedition was worth it as opposed to just being like, we ran out of food and water and we had to come back with our tail between our legs because we didn't actually find anything like conclusive. I wonder if there's any like photos of the Yeti. Yeti hoaxes have become a snowy tradition of their own. You bring the tracks, we'll bring the blurry photos. Ooh, yeah. I wonder, I was just gonna say, even if there are photos like that aren't blurry, then it's probably still like, oh, it could have been photoshopped. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be skeptics. So, is the Yeti real? Depends on who you ask. And how many oxygen-depraved hours you've spent above sea level. Science hasn't found any definitive proof. Most evidence has turned out to be bear DNA, misidentified animals, or elaborate tales told from the back of a mountaintop tent. But that hasn't stopped the myth from growing. Yeah, no, honestly, the Yeti's got great PR, because He's just elusive, but also like can have his own time. He's elusive enough where he has the he's mysterious. You know what I mean? It's giving like I can fix him energy. You know what I'm saying? Why is humanity so obsessed? Because the Yeti is more than a creature. It's an idea. Oh, I love this. Griffin, I love your writing so much. A symbol of the wild, the unknown, the untouched. It represents something bigger than us, literally and metaphorically. 9 feet tall, horror. That's quite literally bigger than any of us, I would hope. Unless it's like Andre the Giant. How tall was he? I don't think he was 9 feet tall, was he? Anyway, in a world where everything feels sorry, anytime I read that, I just think back to the like VCR intros of like in a world where something and whatever, the summer's best movie. In a world where everything feels mapped, tagged, and reviewed on Yelp, the Yeti says, hey, maybe mystery isn't dead yet. Yes, I love it. So, what do you believe? Ancient ape? Upright bear? Snowy bedtime stories with the incredible merch potential? Whatever camp you fall into, the Yeti has carved out a cozy home in our imagination, and he's not moving out anytime soon. Ooh, wait, topical? Because I just moved out and into a new place, so, interesting. He's moved on in. If you're feeling adventurous and want to chase the legend yourself, you can use our Expedia affiliate link to plan your trek to the Himalayas, if you're brave enough. Our Expedia link is expedia.com/affiliates/phenomena/season 3. So it's the same link for all of season 3. So bookmark it and use it. You can use it for any Expedia booking, technically. But if you are going to go to the Himalayas to potentially go on a Yeti expedition, then definitely use it. That's wild, though. I like the ancient ape theory the most because I like the like Ice Age ape theory. You know what I mean? That makes sense. I don't know. But then that's also like the whole idea of like Nessie being a plesiosaurus that somehow survived the blast from the comet and like hid within the 800-foot deep Loch Ness, which is insane. That's so freaking deep that maybe she got away from the blast and then has just been living isolated ever since. I don't know. Are they like immortal? I don't know. This brought up more questions than answers, to be honest. If you do end up going to the Himalayas, while you're out there, if you see giant footprints, just remember, it could be the Yeti or a bear who's tired of walking on all fours. True. Either way, follow them at your own risk. After all, some legends are best left in the snowdrift. What a good ending. That was great. Yes. So much yes. That's amazing. And also, if it's a bear, definitely at your own risk because, you know, like you have to know what to do if you come upon a bear, especially if it's a mama bear. You don't mess with mama bears. That's all I know about bears. I've never encountered a bear, thankfully. I don't ever plan to encounter a bear, but I know that if you are chasing the Yeti and end up, you know, coming up on a bear, they're not gonna be too happy about it. So yeah, definitely proceed at your own risk. But I also just love the like elusiveness of the Yeti, you know, like maybe it's not meant to be known. If it is the primitive ape idea, then he got away from all from the like area that the fossils are shown to have been to like go off the grid. You know what I mean? So it's like he's like, I'm not doing a press tour. I'm not doing signatures. Like I'm not doing anything right now. Like I don't want to talk to people. So fair. That's fair. We need to give Yeti the privacy that he clearly wants. Or they, whatever their pronouns are. I love it. All right, let's get into this week's Pokepic. Drum roll, please. This week's Pokepic is Abomasnow. Ooh, yes. Okay, this makes sense, obviously, given the fact that it's the abominable snowman, right? Abomasnow, which is the Yeti. However, I thought we chose Abomasnow for the Dyatlov Pass episode, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder, this is kind of like but like obviously Abomasnow makes more sense, or it makes more sense for the Yeti because it technically, like, again, going back to our theory of Pokemon taking from phenomena and like anthropomorphizing it into a Pokemon, then it's like the Abomasnow is the abominable snowman / the Yeti, right? So yeah, this is, I guess, a double pick where we have 2 episodes that feature Abomasnow, but they both make sense. Maybe the Yeti was what caused the Dyatlov Pass people to disappear. So Either way, makes sense to me. The Pokedex entry is, it lives a quiet life on mountains that are perpetually covered in snow. It hides itself by whipping up blizzards. Yeah, I vaguely remember reading this exact Pokedex entry, so I do think this might be the second time we have him, but yeah. It's fine. How could we not choose Obama Snow for this, you know? Like, this is the poster child. Yet the Yeti episode is, like, Obama Snow is the poster child for the Yeti episode, so it only makes sense. But yay! Oh my god, what a good episode! I love that. Episode 3 of season 3. 333. I don't know where the third came from. The third is me, you, and the writer, so... Griffin. I'm so glad we finally got to cover off on the Yeti. We have yet to do Bigfoot, but I think it's slotted for later in the season, if I'm not mistaken. So we're getting on it. And yeah, I mean, I just love that with phenomena, we can choose so many different phenomena topics that range from different like categorizations, like natural phenomena, obviously, which are more like women in STEM and science focused because a lot of them are solved, to like cryptids and sightings of cryptids being the phenomenon, because again, it's the sightings of them and the fact that the sightings all are similar to one another despite the people who have seen the sightings, or the people who say they've seen sightings, like how did they all come up with the same description, you know? So that's the phenomenon. It's not like whether or not the Yeti exists. It's like, how did so many people, like, obviously one of the guys was so convinced he put together a whole ass expedition to go like find him. So it's like, you have to be pretty convinced to do that, you know? It's not like going to see Santa Claus and like the North Pole. I wonder if anyone's ever done that, gone to the North Pole just to be like, where is Santa's workshop? I must find it. But you know what I mean? Like, we're not saying whether or not the Yeti itself is real, even though like he's real, let's be real. The phenomenon is the sightings. So yeah, we got the cryptids, and then we have like obviously ghosts and hauntings, which we definitely have one coming up for later in the season. Yeah, there's just so many different phenomena that we can choose from. So we definitely won't run out of content. That's good. If you do have any personal phenomena stories, feel free to email them to us at phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Also bookmark that or save that somewhere so that you can remember. Because if anything weird or creepy or unexplained happens to you or has happened to you, shoot us that email. Shoot us that young email. And we might even read it out loud for the Phenomena episode at the end of the season. Hello. And that way, I've actually heard from Angel, who is our guest writer for the next episode. They mentioned that, like, I don't know, there's something like cathartic about getting your phenomena story out there, because it's like, you know that it happened to you, and like we read we read your phenomena story last for season 2's phenomena episode, and so like it's a good way to be like, hey, we hear you, you're not alone in having experienced that really bizarre situation. It's kind of like cathartic is what I've heard from people that have submitted stories. So yeah, if you want to just like get something off your chest and like have a community that's there to listen, Phenomena is the place to do it. So yeah, again, that's phenomena.cases@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon, and we have a free Patreon tier and a $2 tier and a $5 tier if you feel like you want to support the podcast monetarily. We have one Patreon member for the $2 tier, and that's Tim. Thank you so much, Tim. We appreciate you. And then we have 3 people in the $5 tier, which is my father-in-law to be, my mom, and longtime fan of mine, Andy, from like TikTok days, which is awesome. He's like a super OG fan, which is great. And he's been super supportive, which is awesome. So yay. If you feel like you can give anything to the podcast, definitely feel free to. Even $2 a month, that's like nothing out of your pocket, but it means so much to us. So thank you in advance. But either way, the free tier will give you access to our Discord, which is pinned at the very top of the Patreon. We are working on, like, I think Jodell and I are going to stream on his Twitch stream. We're going to play through Pokemon Scarlet, because I played through Violet, and I guess that had futuristic Pokemon, which I didn't even realize, to be honest. But obviously, like, the main guy that you get in Violet, he's like all cyborgy. But then Scarlet is more like ancient Pokemon, which is like how we got Screamtail, which was the Pokepic for one of our other episodes. We're going to probably post those on Patreon first and then post them on YouTube like a week later. But if you are on the paid side of Patreon, $2 or $5, doesn't matter, you'll be able to get early access to those. So, and like just bonus content in general. We'll figure it out, TBD. But I'm very excited to play through Scarlet because, like I said, I've only played through Violet. So yay, more Pokemon. Lastly, check out our merch if you want to. We've got some dope ass hoodies that will help you show support and keep the curiosity going. So you can visit phenomenalmerch.myshopify.com to grab yours. Let me know what you think. We might, put more options up there. Right now we have 3 hoodies. One of them is like an acid wash hoodie, and that's like the more expensive one because it's like made in the US, but it's like acid wash, so it's like cool. Like it's like more like fashion-y, I guess. And then the other 2, one of them is like a basic one that is the cheaper one and it's thinner. And then the second one's like much thicker and it's nice. You can wear it for like snowboarding. I plan on wearing mine to snowboard, so heck yeah, dude. I was like, functionality. I'm not just trying to like sell merch to sell merch. I'm trying to sell merch that adds something, whether it's, some fashion forward thing or it serves a purpose, like it's extra insulated, like, you know what I mean? I want it to serve a dual purpose. So I don't know. Check it out. Let me know what you think. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST, except for last week. It was a little bit delayed because I was moving and cut me some slack. I'm sorry. But for the most part, it's at 6 p.m. PST. Just know that by Wednesday night, it'll be up, usually by 6 p.m. But next time on Phenomena, we'll be talking about sleep paralysis. Yes. Wow. Sleep paralysis. That is a good phenomenon that a lot of people experience. Thankfully, I've never experienced it, but I've heard it's absolutely terrifying. And I just want to know a little bit more about like the lore behind it and like what causes it and stuff. So that's going to be guest written by our lovely friend of the pod, Angel. I'm so excited. I'm excited to learn more. And it's going to be kind of a spookier episode, I think, right? Because when you think of sleep paralysis, there's the meme of like, oh, my sleep paralysis demon in the corner of my room, just like, and it's usually like a terrifying being and you're just like, oh, cool. And I'm just paralyzed. So awesome. Definitely check it out next week. I'm excited to read it. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Stay vigilant. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Bye.